Letter 104 by Charles Lamb. Dated at end, Feb. 19th, 1803. My dear Manning, the general scope of your letter afforded no indications of insanity, but some particular points raised a scruple. For God's sake, don't think any more of independent Tartary. What have you to do among such Ethiopians? Is there no lineal descendant of Prester John? Is the chair empty? Is the sword unswayed? Depend upon't they'll never make you their king, as long as any branch of that great stock is remaining. I tremble for your Christianity. They'll certainly circumcise you. Read Sir John Maundeville's Travels to Cure You, or come over to England. There is a Tartar man now exhibiting at Exeter Change. Come and talk with him, and hear what he says first. Indeed, he is no very favorable specimen of his countrymen, but perhaps the best thing you can do is to try to get the idea out of your head. For this purpose, repeat to yourself every night, after you have said your prayers, the words independent Tartary, 2 or 3 times, and associate with them the idea of oblivion. 'Tis Hartley's method with obstinate memories. Or say, independent, have I not already got an independence? That was a clever way of the old Puritans, pun divinity. My dear friend, think what a sad pity it would be to bury such parts in heathen countries, among nasty, unconversable, horse-belching Tartar people. Some say they are cannibals, and then conceive a Tartar fellow eating my friend, and adding the cool malignity of mustard and vinegar. I am afraid, tease the reading of Chaucer has misled you. His foolish stories about Cambuscan and the ring, and the horse of brass. Believe me, there's no such things, tease all the poet's invention. But if there were such darling things as old Chaucer sings, I would up behind you on the horse of brass, and frisk off for Prester John's country. But these are all tales. A horse of brass never flew, and a king's daughter never talked with birds. The Tartars really are a cold, insipid, smouchy set. You'll be sadly moped if you are not eaten among them. Pray try and cure yourself. Take hellebore, the counsel is Horace's. 'Twas none of my thought originally. Shave yourself oftener. Eat no saffron, for saffron eaters contract a terrible Tartar-like yellow. Pray to avoid the fiend. Eat nothing that gives the heartburn. Shave the upper lip. Go about like an European. Read no books of voyages, they're nothing but lies, only now and then a romance, to keep the fancy under. Above all, don't go to any sights of wild beasts. That has been your ruin. Accustom yourself to write familiar letters on common subjects to your friends in England, such as are of a moderate understanding, and think about common things more. There's your friend Holcroft now, has written a play. You used to be fond of the drama. Nobody went to see it. Notwithstanding this, with an audacity perfectly original, he faces the town down in a preface that they did like it very much. I have heard a waspish punster say, "Sir, why did you not laugh at my jest?" But for a man boldly to face me out with, "Sir, I maintain it, you did laugh at my jest," is a little too much. I have seen H but once. He spoke of you to me in honorable terms. H seems to me to be drearily dull. Godwin is dull, but then he has a dash of affectation, which smacks of the coxcomb, and your coxcombs are always agreeable. I supped last night with Rickman, and met a merry natural captain, who pleases himself vastly with once having made a pun at Ottahate in the O language. 'Tis the same man who said Shakespeare he liked, because he was so much of the gentleman. Rickman is a man absolute in all numbers. I think I may one day bring you acquainted, if you do not go to Tartary first, for you'll never come back. Have a care, my dear friend, of anthropophagy. Their stomachs are always craving, but if you do go among them, pray contrive to stink as soon as you can, that you may not hang on hand at the butcher's. 'Tis terrible to be weighed out for 5d. a pound to sit at table, the reverse of fishes in Holland, not as a guest, but as a meat. God bless you, do come to England. Air and exercise may do great things. Talk with some minister, why not your father? God dispose all for the best. I have discharged my duty. Your sincere, F. C. Lamb. 19th Feb. 1803, London. Manning's letter producing this reply is endorsed by Lamb, received February 19, 1803, so that he lost no time. Manning wrote, "I am actually thinking of independent Tartary as I write this, but you go out and skate, you go out and walk sometimes. Very true, that's a distraction. But the moment I set myself down quietly to anything, in comes independent Tartary. For example, I attend chemical lectures, but every drug that Mr. Vauquelin presents to me tastes of cream of tartar. In short, I am become good for nothing for a time. And as I said before, I should not have written now, but to assure you of my friendly and affectionate remembrance. But as you are not in the same unhappy circumstances, I expect you'll write to me and not measure page for page. This is the first letter I have begun for England for 3 months, except one I sent to my father yesterday. Manning returned to London before leaving for China. He did not sail until 1806. Prester John, the name given by old writers to the king of Ethiopia in Abyssinia. A corruption of Belulgian precious stone, in Latin first Johannes Preciosus, then Presbyter Johans, and then Prester John. In Sir John Mandeville's Voyage and Travails, 1356, Prester John is said to be a lineal descendant of Ogier the Dane. Hartley would be David Hartley, the metaphysician, after whom Coleridge's son was named. The reader must go to Chaucer's Squire's Tale for Cambuscan, king of Sarra, in Tartary, his horse of brass which conveyed him in a day wherever he would go, and the ring which enabled his daughter Canis to understand the language of birds. Holcroft's play was A Tale of Mystery. Rickman had returned from Ireland some months previously. The merry natural captain was James Burney, 1750–1821, with whom the Lambs soon became very friendly. He was the centre of their whist-playing circle. Burney, who was brother of Madame D'Arblay, had sailed with Captain Cook. The reverse of Fishes in Holland, an allusion to Andrew Marvell's whimsical satire against the Dutch. The fish oft-times the burgher dispossessed, and sat not as a meat, but as a guest. Why not your father? Manning's father was the Rev. William Manning, rector of Diss in Norfolk, who died in 1810.